Hello, everyone. Is this live yet? Can somebody confirm if we are live? And are you all able to hear me at least? Show coffee. Yes. So, this is the coffee that we are brewing today. It's a Paraiso 92 Pink Bourbon from Wes Ngopi. So, just before we just start, I want to check something else. So, today I tried to do this. So you guys can probably have a better perspective onto what I'm going to be doing today. Uh, are you also able to see the other camera? Yes. Okay. Good. So all right then. So today I'm going to use the C40 to grind the beans. Again, we are going to be at the finer side of things. Um, I'm going to use 15 grams of coffee to 225 grams of water. So one is to 15 ratio. Just a second. Grind it to. These beans smell amazing. Like quite fruity and floral. Even the beans, which is Puneet, what have you been brewing today? Are there any customers at your place today or not? I'm not even sure. Like, is the audio good, folks? Bin juice. What bin juice? Oh, you're in Delhi. Thanks, dear. Excel. Never had Excel. Cashew fruit co-ferment. Interesting. I've never had that. Is this rosette coffee? No, it's not rosette coffee. What we are brewing is this. Trying to read the chat here. Genetics coffee sold out for now. I think Rosette had some other Excelsa, not this one. Rosette did have Excelsa though. Um, I forgot the filter paper. I'll just be back. Again, now, if you see what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is rinse off this, and I'm using just regular water. Just dunk it in. So the water is at around 95 Celsius. Yeah, very, very fruity, very, very fruit forward. Give it a swirl so that I found like this coffee likes to be extracted quite a bit. Um, Show Sibarist. I don't have Sibarist. Huh. Kettle no lose temp. It does, but doesn't really matter too much. I think it's good, right? Like a declining temperature profile. I've always thought that it's a good thing to have that. We are at slightly less than 1 is to 16, slightly over 1 is to 15. So, right, so could have ground a little finer, but fine. Again, very fruit forward. Do you guys keep boiling? Puneet, do you like keep boiling the water again and again, or what is it that you do? Water is sus now. Uh, Target temp and decline. Yeah, my water is sus now. Something up with my salts. Uh, yeah, but do you like keep it back on the base and make sure that it heats up to the target temperature before you pour again? Something is up with my salts. Yes, water issues are in general problematic when seasons change, I would say. Nothing wrong with instant. I mean, the pack says strawberry, dried guava, bergamot, soft florals, tangy notes of strawberry, cranberry like berries, complemented by cardamom, white peach, and rose. I mean, you can get a hint of rose in the smell, not something, not prominent. Like it's very subdued and quite a lot in the back. It's not at all like the the gray soul or whatever it was like the rose coffee, ground zero rose or GS rose. Yeah, it's not at all like that. It's uh mm, very tart, quite a bit tart. It's like it's like plums when they are like not too ripe. Which bleach volume do I have? I have volume 1 to 6. Supposed to be khatta khatta, right? Yes, PB is supposed to be khatta khatta. But I've usually found pink bourbons to be less of like red or purple fruit, but more towards orange and citrus. It might also be all the coffees that I've just tried. Um, it smells really nice. But built-in is sussy, always random notes due to processing. This one is I have no idea what it means because this is what they call P09 protocol. I have no idea what that is. If anybody knows, please tell me. Yep. Quite a lot of that berry sweetness, slightly dry finish. It's called P09 protocol. I have no idea what that is, to be honest. I think we can, probably you guys can look it up, uh, or maybe I should just try looking it up. Says the process begins with careful hand picking of ripe cherries and the removal of underripe ones. The cherries are then sterilized with ozone infused water and exposed to UV rays on a conveyor belt to eliminate surface bacteria and microorganisms. They are sorted on a bricks level, density, and coffee varieties. Saccharomyces pastorianus yeast cultures are cultivated to aid fermentation. This is controlled fermentation bioreactor at 18 degrees Celsius. Following fermentation, the cherries are pulped using a customized pulper designed to minimize water use. A second fermentation that lasts for 48 hours at 21 Celsius, relying on the natural yeast in the coffee's mucilage with the oxygen introduced during the final 4 hours to expedite the process. The fermented coffee beans undergo a thermal shock method involving immersion in water at 40 Celsius followed by 12 Celsius. This method sanitizes the cherries, preventing further fermentation and preserving the sugars from initial fermentation while preserving excessive oxidation could affect the flavor profile. Cherries are then mechanically dried within 48 hours using eco-friendly equipment that recovers released water. The coffee is then stored in airtight bags for 15 days before sensory analysis. So that's quite an involved. How I like West Ngopi coffee in general. I've had mixed experience with the Lorena. Uh, I like the Ethiopian Aloe Village and the Bombay. This thing. I've also liked the Pink Bourbon. This one. Uh, Other than that, I like the blend that I got. The blend is really nice, and I don't know if you would call it like a. It's not a fancy coffee. It's it's a comfort coffee, I would say. Lorena looks pretty. Yes, I know fans. Sadly, you didn't like any of them, or was it something else? Yellow smells nasty. It does smell nasty, like dry. You like the Irgachev? Yes, the Irgachev is nice. Catalina is nice. Yellow Geisha is nice. I don't think I've had it. Burgu is good. You have Catalina. I think you can prove it now. I'm not sure if I want to have another coffee after this. Oromar. Oh, Oromar. Yes, yes, yes. That one I have. It's nice. I think. Or have I not? Let me just check because there are. There was another Nicaragua or something coffee. Nice. The Lorena, I think it is slightly grassy. One thing with this, like this, even though this coffee is like quite a bit processed, it does not taste that funky. It's not super clean, but it's also not like super funky. I would say this coffee like actually coats the mouth pretty well. Uh, it's much heavier than I remember. Maybe also because I brewed it the first or the second time I brewed it, it was like within the first month mark. Now this coffee has been resting since, it has rested for 2 months at this point actually. Uh, it's a roast date. Yeah, the roast date is 19th December. I think this has opened up quite a lot. Still better than any of this. Yeah, weird resting game. Yeah, I've also found some of these Indian coffees have also been doing very well after about 1 or 1.5 months of rest. Uh, Earlier, I remember like a couple of years back, Indian coffees they used to taste only nice at the 1 week kind of mark. Uh, but now I found, yeah, I no, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not talking about all the coffees. I'm talking about only very specific ones. I'm not saying you go go and buy a Silver Oak blend and you wait for 2 months. Yeah, Hidden Falls. Exactly. Hidden Fall tasted much better after like the 1.5 month mark. I think now as it is cooling, I get more of that citrus, more of the citrus profile that I expect at least out of a pink bourbon. I've been resting. Rest. Yeah, this one of the Kere Haklus was actually not bad. BT roasting light after? I don't think so. Uh, like visually, at least, I do not feel that they are roasting much lighter. Should have gotten Jason. Is Jason good? Jason is more or less like, I find Jason and Probat profiles to be very similar. They're roasting lighter emotionally. Emotionally, they have always been light. Their geisha was awful. Which one? The last year one was not bad. I mean, yeah, if you talk about it being worth it, I would say it was not worth it. But it wasn't bad. Oh, Easy Pour. So in Easy Pour, they have something called a Jakandra blend or something like that. It's actually not bad if you need a coffee fix. Influx of smuggled beans, I have no comments on that. I find like as it is cooling down, the florals have gone and it starts smelling a little green. Uh, like not as in grassy or like vegetable, but green of sorts. I don't know how to explain that. I'm down for GBs, but depends on what you're buying. Standout, I feel the all the coffees that I tried from Standout was not as per my tastes. I would say they were quite roasty, all of them. Prodigal has been like hit or miss for me usually. Tim Wendelbo, not a big fan. Standout. Uh, Standout was not good for me. For me, the most consistent roaster, rest for 9 months, not doing that. Yeah, standout is very sussy. Standout is cheap. I don't think they are that cheap, right? Like it's around 2000 per pack, like close to 2000, right? No, not some of the coffee were very cheap. Okay, I'll show you something that I want to be brewing like soon. I'm actually quite excited about these two coffees that I'm going to show you right now. Some dude got 6 packs of pink. $9, $11. Hmm. Okay, that I don't know. 1100 landed. That's like that's pretty nice. So this coffee pretty amazing. Uh, we'll be doing a brew and a review soon. The bag looks cool. Yes, the bags are really cool. The guy who runs the place is also is that Bing? No, it's a geisha. The other coffee I'm really excited about is this. I had it at their cafe and it was really nice. When giving away coffee to increase channel growth. Once I start making some money, I have always been a big fan of Burundi and Rwanda coffee. I have always been a big fan. Uh, I think, unfortunately for me, my stock usually looks like Colombia, Ethiopia, and then India. Say Burundi was very good, very very good. The Haza, right? I think there is certainly a uh, market for that, and I feel like even in the group buys or most international, I'd say I am not. I don't follow Bana. Uh, I think those guys are weird, just weird. Also, I am not like from what I have understood is I'm not a big fan of extremely light roasted coffees. Vegetal notes. Yeah, I find like super light roasts to be very vegetal, very very much grass. I don't like grassy notes. This is now getting like grape peel kind of taste. Like if you had the peel of red globe grapes, this is what it has transformed into now. Also, this is the third time me using this thing, and I quite like it now. I think also the signature streaming glass. Uh, I have wanted it for a long time, to be honest. I also got the jasmine carafe, but I'm willing to let it go now. What is this cup? This is the jasmine cup by the Espresso Lab. It's one of those SCA award-winning things. That is big dollar cup. Yes. You feel sensory cups are sussy on a whole? Uh, mm, no, they are not. There is a lot of there is a lot of psychological like proof into how it works and why it works. It's not sussy. It's same as how a whiskey glass or a wine glass works, right? Mm. Oh, okay. It has some connotations that thin lips. Yeah, it has a very thin lip. I want a couple of sense cups as well, to be honest. Puneet, did you find a difference with the sense cups compared to some other cup? It makes everything taste thinner. Interesting. I found that I found like if you use a thinner cup, like a thin lip cup, and it kind of it kind of masks some of the sweetness, is what I feel. I found like if I use ceramic cups, if I'm drinking in a ceramic cup, I perceive a lot more sweetness compared to like a thin this thing glass cup. What has your experience been? Coffee does smell good. The constriction in the cup, it helps the volatile aromas to stay within instead of just evaporating out. Uh, it's always a good idea to have anything which is aromatic to be served in a container which has a tapered opening, like a reverse tapered opening, because it helps to make sure that the aromas are inside. I also tried one of those things. The An espresso cup which has thinner lip on one side and a thicker lip on the other side. For that, I would say I did not perceive much of a difference, or maybe espresso wasn't something that I would have enjoyed as much. It was good, no doubt, but it wasn't to my uh, tastes. A friend of mine who I went with, he enjoyed it quite a lot. It was an Indonesian, some fermented, processed coffee espresso. What have you been using for brew water? Why don't you get one of those packets? It's okay. You don't really need distilled water. Do you not have this thing, RO filtration system? Because my RO is set to around 7, 8 something. My RO is set to around 7, 8. And what I do is I mix things in it. I found, like, as I said, I found the best that works for me with that is this, but it is slightly expensive. Today, so okay, the other thing today, what I did was I used third wave water classic profile for this instead of Apex. uh, Now the taste has gotten into that. If you chomp off a flower, something what it would taste like, if you just have rose petals or like petals of a flower, uh, that is. So you use RO in an Apex. I use Apex if I'm just brewing directly with RO water. I use it to remineralize post. I use Apex to remineralize after I brew. Like, I'll add, like, the general idea is, like, if I get around 220 grams of liquid out, um, I'll add like 6, 7 drops of a tonic and 1 drop of jam. Would Yeah, Apex is quite expensive. Like, if you buy the 100 ml bottles, it is cheaper, but still, like, it's a big investment. Like, price per ml is quite a bit low, but like, getting the 100 ml bottle is quite expensive. Like, floral notes, yes. GB time. I would suggest not to do GB for Apex. According to me, like, if you were to really ask me about how much you're spending and how much you're getting out of it, I would say third wave water, or if you're drinking primarily Indian coffees, then Sura works better. I would like to have somebody, like, if it could be like the live streams, if I could brew and share with somebody and then discuss the coffees, that would also be nice. Because, see, again, this is quite a lot of, like, personal perception and things like that. uh like, I'll tell you, when I was in Bangalore, I used to get a lot of mango notes in some coffees, right? Or like a Like I'll take an example. So Casey Orchard Ale, to me, it smelled a lot like a rose garden. Kacha mango, yes, kacha mango. Casey Orchard Ale smelled to me like a lot of rose garden. But there were people who said no, it does not. It also tastes like kacha mango to me. Uh, the the orchard ale natural process. It's there's a weird fermented orchard ale from Ikkis that smells quite interesting. Mhm. Cup over, yes. It was quite nice, to be very honest. I did enjoy it a lot, and that's the reason probably that I just finished it off in like less than half an hour. What am I brewing next? I'm terrified of scratching my glassware. Terrified of scratching by what? What are you brewing next? I don't think I'm going to brew another coffee. Scrubber, get one of those sponge things. Use the soft sponge foam. Yeah, I um I have a couple of interesting drafts as well. So maybe I'll schedule a live stream on some weekday, like around 9 p.m., 10 p.m., and I'll be brewing a couple of interesting decaf coffees. So I have a like they are slightly on the more developed side, but they are still quite interesting, I would say. All right then. Like if you have this coffee, if you I really liked it. It is fermented. It's not overly funky. It's clean. It's relatively clean. You get a lot of florals. You get a lot of like berries, red berries, red fruit kind of note. Um, Also, it transitions into something like a from very fruity to slightly towards like a fruit peel kind of taste, and then it ends off with a floral, with a bite. It has a slightly mouth drying texture. um but it is still very well rounded. And the one thing is, it transforms quite a lot. Like from hot to cold, this coffee transforms quite a lot, at least for me, um, which I quite like. Uh, I would say today the grind size was not what I was hoping to be. Hoping it to be, like, if I could have gone a touch finer. Uh, I usually tend to aim like a 3 minute drawdown with most of the brews that I do, until and unless they are like very fresh. If the coffee is really fresh, then I'm trying around like 2 minute 30 second brew. So anyway, thanks guys for being here. We'll see you guys in the next video. This is what we brewed. See you. Bye bye. Thanks for being here.